We've been so encouraged and inspired by companies all over the world that have embraced this concept of truly human leadership. And even here locally in South Africa, companies like Coast & Country that have inspired us by investing and embracing the concept that everybody matters and seeing the value and the benefit of this for their businesses. And so I just want to share with you a little bit about where this originated, share a little bit about our work and why we believe this is so important for our world today, and also just share a little bit about what has happened within Coast & Country. So this journey started really in our parent company, Barry Wehmiller. Barry Wehmiller is a capital goods manufacturing company. So we produce these big machines that do bottling plants and produce cotton wool and toilet paper. Not the most inspiring products in the world. However, Barry Wehmiller has got an inspiring culture that it has managed to create and foster over a period of time. And this was as a result of our CEO, Bob Chapman, going on some journeys in his own life, having some defining moments of realizing the difference between being a manager and being a leader. And realizing that he's a steward of these lives that come into his business every day. These people that come into his span of care. And so he and his leaders set about rethinking and changing their mindsets and behaviors around what it is to be a leader. They saw and realized that if they're creating environments where people feel appreciated, where they feel a sense of belonging, where they feel they're doing meaningful work, it not only is good for the business, which it has proven to be as Barry Wehmiller has grown and been productive, but it's also been good for the communities in which their people live. You see, the way we send people home every day impacts the way they relate with their families, the way they relate with the people around them in their communities. It was this realization that we have a significant opportunity to be a place where business can be a force for good in our world. And so Bob and his team really worked hard at thinking about what they can do to help support their leaders to create this inspiring culture. And over time, it has become recognized as a place that others will look to say, what have we done to create this special environment? And some thought leaders who had visited with Bob and visited our plants and truly experienced what was going on, encouraged Bob to share this with the world. Not to be selfish with this, but to share it. And so out of that was born the Chapman & Co. Leadership Institute, where we are out there to serve other organizations who may want to accelerate their cultures and learn with us. None of us are perfect on this journey. Coast & Country is not perfect, Barry Wehmiller is not perfect, and we're still learning. And we will continue to learn together. But there is a sense of we've embraced something that has had a big impact on both performance and more importantly on the lives of people. The lives of not only the people in our businesses, but the lives that they also touch. And so we've been so inspired by the way Coast & Country and its leaders have embraced this journey. We've heard some incredible stories of what this has meant, not only for the leaders themselves personally, but for their people as well. I think one of the fundamental shifts that happened was that the so-called people at the top of the organization realized that they had this opportunity to be true leaders and to shift from being managers who control people to get things done, to leaders who could inspire people to be excellent, to leaders who truly cared for the people in their span of care. And as a result of that, we've seen community develop within Coast & Country. We've seen people caring for each other, caring for the people that work alongside them. And as a result of that, they could all be called leaders. These people, we've heard stories of places, of times where people have just given of their own accord, given of their time, given of their little money they perhaps have for the good of others. We heard a story of a merchandiser whose house burnt down and lost all their belongings, and how the team rallied of their own accord to resupply with foodstuffs and furniture and bedding and clothing. That's just one of the many stories we've heard as this company has invested in the lives of their people. Coast and Country has worked hard on their purpose, knowing that they have the opportunity to give hope and help communities thrive. And how is this so? They're in the fortunate position where they can offer people a first-time job, where they can take somebody who's never worked before and train them up to be a merchandiser and to give them skill. And maybe they'll take that on and go somewhere else with it. But what an opportunity and a lift up they've given to somebody in their communities. Often these people are the providers for numbers of mouths to feed. And so, again, the opportunity to impact our society. And I don't know about for you, we have been partnering companies like Coast and Country, and maybe for you, maybe too, that where we can learn together what it is to build an inspiring culture. It's good for our business, it's good for our people, it's good for society and our communities, good for all our stakeholders. And so here at Chapman & Co Leadership Institute, we truly believe that business is the most powerful force for good. It probably is the only force for good today in our world, where people spend most of their time, and the ability that we have to impact, the ability for us to create environments where people leave our work every day inspired and energized rather than drained and depleted. And we can't create anything in between. It's either one or the other. And so we want to encourage you to just think about this story of Coast and Country, of Barry Waymiller. Maybe think how it could apply for you too. Maybe it's time for you to think about your own leadership and to think like these people, these leaders at Coast and Country who have gone on personal journeys, found not only their company purpose but their personal purpose, living a more fulfilling life. Maybe thinking about the shift from not being the best in the world, but being the best for the world. It's not an easy shift to make, but it's hugely rewarding and fulfilling when we know we're living purposeful lives, lives that are having an impact and making a difference on others. And so I encourage you to talk to any of the Coast and Country leaders. Ask them how this journey has impacted them personally. Ask them about the experiences their people have had as a result of this journey for them. And you're welcome to contact us here at Chapman & Co Leadership Institute too. We'd be very open to share some other learnings and experiences that we've had along the way.